It's something we can all learn from where we're going in life. You really can't hold on to grudges, and the fairy tale that you're painting sometimes may not come true.
Right,
so
because,
what do you do?
because I'm one of those, I call myself a drama queen. You know, I
Maybe
watch
a little bit, Dale. Maybe a little.
I watch soap operas religiously. I'm a Young and the Restless fan. My father is like Victor Newman. You know, it's like he's determined to run his life his way, and you know, you're supposed to understand that it's love because he protects you. He's provided for you.
Yes. You did a one man show. I'm tempted to say one woman show. A one man show, Free to Slave.
You have to say it completely. Free to Slave, Mask of a Diva.
Okay, let me get it right. Free to Slave, Masks of a Diva. Okay, and can you tell us more about this? I'm calling it a fascination with transvestites or drag queens, or is that what it is? It's a show that kind of highlighted their life and their existence?
I would truly say that. It's so funny, as we transition out of my father's story into the Free to Slave story, he actually came to the opening of Free to Slave, and he turned to me and he says, "Well, I was supposed to get something out that? Was I supposed to get a message? Were you secretly trying to tell me something in that?" You know, we had a very interesting hot and cold relationship. I produced an HIV prevention PSA, and my father appeared in it. But Free to Slave came about as a wonderful experience when my job at QVC was ending, when they were getting ready to shut down the fashion channel and get rid of all the hosts that worked on that side of the network.
Yes.
I saw an ad in the paper to be in background extra in the Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze movie, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
I remember that film.
And I was telling my coworkers, it's like, you know, this sounds like a lot of fun. You know, it's very gay, and I've never done this. I think it would be really fascinating to do. And I worked on a ladies' fashion channel. So all day long, there were all these dresses and wigs and makeup and stuff around me. And there I was in my little man attire. And I was like, I want to do this. And everybody encouraged me. And they were like, the makeup people came out, the wig people came out. They even took dresses from the storage room and had me try on dresses. And I was like, okay, we can make this work.
Okay.
And so I went to New York for 2 weeks and I worked on a scene on To Wong Fu. It's the scene in the movie where they find the picture of Julie Newmar. And so we shot it for about a week in Jersey City. And it was such a fascinating experience because there were real actors, there were transvestites, there were transsexuals, there were lesbians, there were straight people, and we were all in Wong Fu's restaurant. And so we all got a chance to hear and talk and share these stories. And when I came back, I was talking to a writer friend of mine about it. And he says, you know what? I've been wanting to write a one-man show for you for the longest time. He says, let's write one about this experience. And as a gay person, I didn't understand drag queens. I didn't understand cross-dressers. So it helped me research it. And so I went to transvestite and transsexual support groups. The funny story in the book is that you find out that I even started a pen pal relationship with a man in prison. And I would send him photographs of me dressed in lingerie. And just the outpouring of attention was so addictive.
What did you learn? What did you learn that you didn't know, or what is stereotypically not known? You know, what do we think about transsexuals, transvestites that may or may not be true?
Well, one of the things that I know that I'm still learning today is there is a distinct difference between a drag queen and a transsexual. And the philosophy and the way and the thinking of what it is. It's like there's a line in To Wong Fu, it's like, you're just a boy in a dress. I was a boy in a dress. But there are our trans community are people who take a challenge that's even bigger than the challenge that I take in coming out. And that is to choose, this is who I am. You know, I was in the wrong body and now I'm in the right body. And it may not be perfect on the outside to you, but now I'm closer to where I need to be perfectly. And we, even as a gay community, sometimes don't even quite understand that.
We are discriminative if they aren't. Yes.
It's like, to me, in the LGBT, the T is the oddest part of our whole equation. It's
Absolutely.
like, for me, T is almost like I'm trying to transition out of the gay community. I'm probably trying to transition into a heterosexual lifestyle. But straight people won't take me, and gay people don't really understand me. But we tack you right on to the end of the LGBT.
Yes.
when we really don't embrace you.
Because don't even take the time to understand you either.
Right.
It's foreign.
It's very foreign.
Yes.
And then you've got that whole entertainment sector of men who just put on a dress to entertain, or men who put on female attire because it brings them sexual pleasure. Those are whole other different layers that we as gay people don't even want to have time to bother with, because we're stuck on, are you a masculine man or are you a feminine man? Because if you butch and you can give me some booty, then and if you're feminine, I'll let you do this, but I ain't gonna take you nowhere with me, And then I got to deal with the trans. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So for me, that whole the experience of Free to Slave was about bringing out what I call intra-discrimination, the discrimination within our own community. And as a gay man coming up, I was afraid of drag queens, because all the thing I had heard was that if you look at them too long and they indicate that they're not passing, they're going to hurt you. They're going to either say, what the fuck you looking at? Or they're going to pull out a knife, or they're going to cut you.
Yeah.
So, I had these fears like, don't stare at a drag queen too long.
Wow.
But, in my mind, I classified any man that put on a wig and a dress. I didn't know what the difference between a drag queen and a transsexual.
Right.
So my whole fear was, if I saw a man in daytime dressed in a street in a mall dressed as a woman, then it made me uncomfortable, and so I had certain fears. So becoming Free to Slave and doing that show helped me to understand the shoes that they were walking in, and helped me to be able to develop an empathy and an understanding, and it made me learn how to ask the right questions and to understand. Free to Slave, at the end, the way the play evolves is that Free to Slave is a character that is the performance character of a man named Alfred, and it's a tribute to all the women that he loves. So when I do drag, I think about, I'm embodying Diana Ross, I'm embodying Gladys Knight, I'm embodying Bette Midler, I'm embodying I'm embodying my mother, because when I put on my dress and the heels, I see a version of my mother. So for me, drag is a tribute to what I find beautiful about women. But that's my interpretation of drag.
Well, I kind of call it the exaggerated parts of femininity, and it's appreciated, but it's exaggerated. The makeup, the heels are a little higher, the breasts are a little firmer, the walk is a little more sachet, But to me, it's just appreciating our qualities. That's how I've always understood.
Right. It's like imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's like I'm trying to pay honor to what I find is a beautiful woman. And, for me, that whole Supreme's glamour look, for me, represented that. And, of course, when you take it to the extreme, then people say, oh, you dress like a drag queen.
It was an award-winning play.
Yeah, it won us a Maryland State Arts Council award for performance, and another one a few years later for writing. And it was actually that money the writer and I invested, and it became the impetus of the money that actually helped me move to Los Angeles to take the show on to another award at the Hudson Backstage Theater.
I do want to talk more about your activism for AIDS and some of the programs that you set up for theater and in the children that you're working with in Los Angeles. We're going to come back actually and talk with Dale, Guy, Madison. So keep it right where you got it. You're listening to The Satin Lounge.